We are at the Peabody Public Library in Columbia City. This is February 18th, 2008. We are interviewing Paul R. Gates, whose birthday is December 30th, 1928. Mr. Gates lives at 4080 North State Road 109 in Columbia City, Indiana. He served during the Korean War. And he was in the Army, and he was a private first class. Okay, Mr. Gates, can you tell us a little bit about what you were doing before you joined the service, right before you joined?
Well, before I was in the service, I was employed with the Shell Oil Company at a service station here in town, which I worked for a long time, 18 years, and ended up, I operated my own after I got out of the military. And I was drafted in November, and I was with my buddies here in town, and we had our physical and went to Indianapolis and had our physical. And we were all sent together, got together pretty much. And I had one buddy that I stayed with for 2 years. He was never alone unless he was on furlough, or I was on furlough until the weekend passed, which I very seldom ever done. And we went to Breckenridge, Kentucky to be processed, and from there we was shipped to Camp Rucker. It's Camp Fort Rucker now, and we joined the 432nd Engineer Construction Battalion there. And we took most of our basic training, and they closed the camp after World War II, so it just sat there for about 10 years or so. So we had to clean all the weeds and things out to get through the gate, and a lot of buildings was just old shacks, and so that's what we had to do.
And what year was this?
1950.
1950.
Yes, November. The day before Thanksgiving, I went in. So we had our basic training there. Then we transferred from there to Camp Pickett, Virginia, which we finished our basic, and there wasn't any material there for classes to learn how to build anything. So three of the officers, non-coms, went to Washington, D.C. to get some material because the library had been destroyed at Camp Rucker. So we just kind of went through our basics. And
had you had any experience prior to this in building things, the construction part of it?
No.
No? How did they determine that's what you were supposed to do then?
Well, I guess they figured I looked like I could build something.
Okay.
And so I went through all the classes that I was supposed to take to build, and could be an electrician, a plumber, and a contractor, whatever. And had about 3 weeks to go. Basic training, and then they put 6 more weeks on us because we had to do some extensive building. In the meantime, my mother got real sick, and Red Cross called and said I was supposed to go home and see her. Well, that is a no-no when you're in basic training, but it was a good battalion. They let me go. So when I got back, all the MOS numbers have been given out, but 2.
And what is that?
MOS is your, it's a number that, you have a number that is for your job. It's a job number.
Okay.
And I forget what the MOS really meant. Okay. But I think it was 1095 is what mine was, number. And the first one was a demolition expert. No, not me. Or cook. I have to take cook. Well, Oh, that was a fast decision, Paul, because if you want to be a truck driver, they'll give you a wheelbarrow and sell it like that. You don't get what you want. But they said, we'll go down to supply and office and pick up your whites and go to work. And I cooked for 2 years. That's all I'd ever done. I did have to get up at 3:15 in the mornings and cook breakfast and get things around and cook dinner. And I was off at 1 o'clock until the next day at 1. But I had to finish my basic training at the same time. So I had to go out in the field in the afternoons, and I had to go out in the fields the next morning before I went in at 1 o'clock to cook supper. So that was kind of a harrowing job there because I was busy day and night. And because we had, a lot of times we had 3 shifts, we would have to prepare food for them and take it out to the field. But I didn't, and the truck drivers did. So that lasted for about 3 more weeks. And
What kind of things were you cooking? What kind of things? What did you get to cook?
Meat and potatoes and vegetables, salad, pancakes, fried eggs. Every Sunday you could have all the eggs you wanted fixed.
You're still in Virginia at this time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so then they decided we had to go to Germany to build some buildings, which was gymnasiums and some barracks needed repaired and built, and lots of roads. And they had a generator they wanted to put up on the side of a mountain. Well, they said it was a 37,000-pound generator, which is a pretty size generator. And when we got to Germany, they were playing the song for us, I wonder who's
And where in Germany did you get to go?
We landed at Bremehaven.
Bremehaven, okay.
And we went to premises, and we built some things there. I gave back to the generator. Of course, all of our equipment had to wait till it got there. They said, well, we'll be here Wednesday. Will you let us know when we'll be here, and we'll go up and see. So the Captain Foster went up to see all about it, and he had to take the secretary with him because he couldn't speak German. However, he was there during World War II and was a prisoner over there for about 18 months.
Your commanding officer
Yes.
had been a prisoner in Germany?
So when the equipment got there, they had to have a flatbed truck to put the generator on. It had to be backed up that mountain. Well, they got there, the generator was 54,000 tons instead of 37. That's kind of scary to drive a truck up backwards up a mountain. But this concrete was already in the ground. They just set it there. So they got it set up, got it going, and went back down. Captain Foster went into the office, told at the main post. So, well, your generator's all set to go. Says, where is it? Well, what do you want? It's up there and it's running. What? You guys don't mess around. No, we're the 432nd Construction Battalion. We have a thing here that says, don't wait, why hesitate, do it now. And all this says is do it now. That was our that's what we chanted when we was in parades. Don't wait, why hesitate, do it now. And they meant that, do it now. So he said, well, so let's go up and look at it. He didn't believe Captain Foster, I guess. So he went up there and said, I can't understand this. So we was at premises for about 4 months, and we went to Kaiserslautern at Dempsey concerned. They were canceling their concerns. It was only about 3 miles from the wax, which they told the ladies, wax in the Army, military. And so we cooked there, and we cooked for 350 people in the States. That was the company A. It was A, B, and D. A, B, C, and
Any idea about how many men or women were there in the base when you were doing all that?
well, there was 1,500 of us in our battalion.
Your battalion.
Four companies. I was in Company A. And we had 1,500 that we cooked for, more than 1,500 over there. It was about 2,500 really,
500.
because there was some Air Force base personnel out there too.
And you cook for the Air Force also?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was in the Navy for 3 weeks.
Oh, you have to explain that one too. Is that where you were in the Navy for 3 weeks?
When I was in Camp Craig, Virginia, they said, well, we're going to transfer to Delaware, Fort Lewis, Delaware. And I need 4 volunteers, you, and you. And Paul, who do you want? We want help clean up the barracks and the mess hall and see that everything was in top shape. So I picked out 3 guys I knew would work for me. And they took us up there in the truck. And when we got there, it was a nice, neat camp. The only one trouble with it was there was a fish factory straight west of us. And it wasn't too good when we had a west wind. Very few people come to the mess hall to eat. We didn't serve the fish, but you could smell it. So we got that all straightened up, and the Captain Foster said, no, when you go there, you go down to the mess hall and tell them who you are and where you're relocated, and you have a job to do, and that's all you're going to do. You don't do anything else. Well, they were supposed to be up there within a week. Well, they called on Friday and said, Paul, how are you doing? I'm like, everything's ready to go. This is blown up. So, well, we'll be delayed for 3 weeks. Having to come up down here, we didn't get finished up contracting, so we have to finish that before we leave. He said, what you do is to go to Rehoboth Beach every day, which they had a big, it was like a state fair there. And so we just, for a quarter, we could go to town with a taxi and spend all day in town for 3 weeks. Well, the mess sergeant found out what was going on. He says, hey, Gates, says, you have to pull KP. I says, no, sir, I don't. He said, don't tell me that. I'm a lieutenant. I said, I'm PC. I can see that. But you still have to work. And I said, can I call Captain Foster at Camp Craig, Virginia, and verify this? There's your phone. Captain Foster said, okay, I'll work off to the lieutenant. So Captain Foster come on, and Lieutenant come on, and said that these 4 people do not need the full KP. They are on a special job, special duty, ordered, and they can't do anything else. Well, okay, what does that say? He says you just go out and get lost, but come back at night at a certain time. or you just sit around in barracks, or whatever you want to do. So we just mingled around, didn't do anything. So when we moved in, everything was go. And I have a picture of the company. It's about 2.5 foot long. It's about 8 foot wide. It's called the Company A. And from there we went back on the way back to go to Germany. We stopped off at Fort Meade, Maryland, for 45 days to finish up a job that headquarters started. And they didn't have it finished yet. We had to stay there for 45 days, get that finished. Then we went back to Camp Pickett, Virginia. And from there we shipped out from Norfolk, Virginia. There's where I learned to have patience.
Really?
We got up at 3:15 and had three minutes to dress, get on the trucks, went to the train, on the train, and stopped at every time a bird flew in front of it almost. That's exaggerating, but it seemed like it. Took forever to get there. And we got there, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning at Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and it was real hot. And we had to stand on that hot asphalt till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody was really upset. So there I learned to wait. You hurry and wait in the military. So we finally got on the ship. It was in General Darby. And I got a story to tell about that later. I hope I can remember it. And so it took us 11 days to go over. And it was a nice trip. We enjoyed ourselves very much. And we got to, like I said, we got to Bremehaven by a plane. Who's kissing the wall?
Who was playing that?
The German band.
A German band was playing that.
Yeah, of course, and rub it in. So then we built gymnasiums over there, and buildings, and lots of roads, bridges, and they had this one ballpark they wanted to build. There was a little building out there, about 4 by 4, and it was in shambles. It was just all rotted out. And they said, what are we supposed to do with this? Asked the Germans. Well, raus here. That means get it out of here. So, okay, they did. They tore it down. The guy stepped on it and he sunk 6 feet in an old back house.
Oh.
So he had to take a good shower.
Were you building buildings for Germany or
For Germany,
For
yes.
Germany, so you're proud of the reconstruction?
So actually, we rebuilt the thing we destroyed about 10 years before.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, we went on down to Kaiserslautern after 3 months. And we got to Germany while it was snow all around, really cold, which was in 1st of April. And 1st of May we went down to Kaiserslautern. Spent the rest of the time over there in Germany.
While you were in Germany, did you have much interaction with the German people?
Quite a bit, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it wasn't all work related? Did you do any socializing or?
Yes. We had a place that we could go and get sandwiches and talk to the German people there. And they had real good Sundays. And I think I tried every kind. And I went to town one time, and a buddy of mine went with me. You had to have at least one buddy with you
Oh, yeah.
because of the danger over there yet. You wasn't allowed to go alone. We'd go into a slum restaurant and had a Wiener Schnitzel. And I learned how to make it. And So now I made it for the church when we have a German Fest day.
It's interesting.
So I was walking down the street, and with this guy, he looked at me. I said, "Hi, Dewey." He said, "Hi, Paul." He says, "I didn't know you was over here. Here's Dewey Gowdy from Come to Say." I'm going to backtrack a little bit. When we got to Camp Rucker, it was midnight, and we were supposed to be able to just go to bed. Got me on that train. He was ready for bed. Well, nothing was, no bed was ready, no mattresses, no bedding. So we had to rush supply room to get that. So they finally got everything all set up, and we fell in line that night. It was dark when we got there, and they had just a few lights outside the barracks there. And the guy that was my buddy, I went to grade school and high school at Kirsten and Larwell. It's Claude B. Myers. And we double-dated and went fishing and swimming and things like this before I was in the service. We got over there and in Alabama, he was in rank, and Richard Reimer from Kansas City was in my battalion also. He had a buddy over in Company B, or C, and I was in A. And he had a buddy over here in A Company. So when the sergeant turned his back, they flip-flopped. Well, I got my buddy and he got his buddy. And we was all four together in the same battalion. And I was in the same barracks, same barracks as my buddy for 2 years.
Don't they assign that to you?
Well, he didn't know our names yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that was a quick switch, and people were looking, the guys were looking, what's going on here?
Were you married by the time
No.
okay.
We was engaged.
You were engaged.
I was engaged to Patricia, Jay Whittaker, and I got my snuff covered. And so I had come home and got my car. Bud had his car there. He found it wrong. That's the way.
This is, and how many years did you spend in the service then?
2.
You were in for 2 years. You in a few of the bases or camps in the United States on the East Coast, and then the rest of the time in Germany.
Yes.
Okay, and then you came back here.
Yes.
Okay.
And when we got back, when my replacement come, I had a month until my time would be up, and I could be discharged. So there again, I had to get lost for a while. So Don Leatherwood and I would take off and go and take a bus up to the hospital, because they had a jewelry store there and buy things for people.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of gifts. And so we went up there about 3 or 4 times a week. The person at the bus driver says, "How come you guys are going to the hospital every time, all the time? You don't look sick." We told him, "Oh, well, okay. Just don't get me in trouble." I said, "We haven't so far, and I'm not going to goof up now. And just a few days, and I'm going to mess up." He said, "I won't turn the end, it's just when it's supposed to be on this bus." Okay, thank you.
Was that a military bus then?
Yes.
A military? Okay. Did you get to go out into the country in Germany at all? And
Yes,
see
I
things?
bought a bicycle and for my mess sergeant, in which I still go and see once in a while. He lives in Oklahoma. And so we go for bicycle rides, and they said, well, they came in the kitchen one day, and the captain said, "Well, Gage, we need a truck driver." And he said, go down and get your supplies to the commissary. And they wanted you to do that. I said, well, will I still be cooking? Oh, yes. So I said, well, you have to learn how to drive a truck. We call it a deuce and a half, it's a ton and a half truck. I'll tell them something. And he had the Kenneth May, which I still communicate with. He lives up at up in Pennsylvania. It's a German, Russian name of the town. It's something O. I might think of it, so if I bust out the name O, that's the town he lives in, I don't know. He said, well, Gates, so here we are. Says, I'll start out and then drive out here away, and then says, I'll let you drive it back. Okay. So I looked at the dash over and see where he's located, all the shit and everything. It had about 5 or 6 gears. And he's got out in the country there and got going down the Autobahn. Well, I said, I'm going to pull over and let you drive back. Okay. Well, I got in, I got put in, I took off and looked at the gears and Rick went, you ever drive truck? I says, no, not really. I said, when I was a freshman in high school, I worked in a garage after school and weekends and Saturday and Sunday and holidays. I said, I drove a school bus. I wasn't supposed to, I did, just around town, take it to school and bring it back to the garage. I never did drive one, really, on the highway. I mean, you can do it better than I can. I drove a truck when I was back home. And so he started asking questions about truck driving, so I told him. So that lasted for about 3 weeks, and they got a regular driver. And so when my replacement come, I was free to go. So the best sergeant said, well, you'd be the first one in the chow line in the mornings, and at noon and at night, and get your meal first and get out of there. Get out of the way. Don't bother. Okay, I can do that. So anyway, we were on bicycles and went out and got to the hospital, sick home. And for 3 weeks, then when we got, everybody was ready to go, I took us up to Bremehaven. We debarcated from there and went through that English Channel, and it was pretty foggy both times, but we could see it pretty good. So we went to Camp Kilmer, New Jersey, and we got off, debarcated at New York. And we had to go to the mess hall, and so when they took us to, well, they had a big airport there, a big hangar. 6,000 guys was in there. They had bunks 3-4 high. They had been there, some of them, for 6 to 9 months. They lost their records. And they warned us when we left, said, you take care of those records. And 2 of the guys had pistols. They said, you will take care of your records. You may sit there for, you don't know how long. And I said, you guys have done a good job here. You've been very good. And so when you get to that hangar, you stay together in one group. Don't stray. He said, because you will be beat up or shot.
By the other servicemen?
By the other servicemen, because they was aggravated because they had to stay there so long. And it would be horrible to stay there. No air conditioning, hardly any heat. That was in November. So they come around and did 4th, 3rd, 2nd fall out. So we did. So now, this is the way it is. This is the way it will be. We'll take you to, we didn't have any of our baggage with us. We were just there. we got off the train, why it was there to the bus driver that he got out. And so we had ourselves to take care of. We had a shaving kit and that was it. And so they said, now you fall out for supper, and we're going early. And when we get done there, you fall out in formation, and we will take a head count. You will be marched to a hotel for protection of your lives, because they're angry because you're going to be shipped out tomorrow morning. And they don't like that. Well, we didn't have any part of that, but they were going to shoot us anyway. So we got up at 3 o'clock that morning and went to mess hall and snuck in and ate and snuck out and went up to the dock. Got on the ship safe and sound. So we come back on the General Hershey. We docked at New York, and we went to Camp Kilmer for overnight. And I didn't pull Casey that night. I had to run the dishwasher. Big deal. Just put them in there and turn it on and take them out. So I helped him out. I didn't. Well, they was going to make me cook on the ship too. They said, no, I'm a cook. I don't cook on ships. Okay. So I got one little story I'll tell you. It's not too good, but you've had breakfast and you're not
It's fine.
ready for the
It's your
next
story.
night.
We're fine.
And so there was 19 days to come back. We had a lot of bad weather. And they hit this one big storm. And the ship was going like this and like this and like this. And, you put your foot down, where'd the ship go? Where'd the floor? You couldn't find it, then push it, bam, you meet the ship floor. So we was down in the mess hall eating one day, and the ship was going like this, and all we had was so rough they couldn't cook anything. They put big 60-gallon vats with water in, put eggs in, and boiled them, and they had sausage. Greasy sausage. We're already sick, and you feed this greasy sausage. Well, I didn't eat mine. I didn't have a chance. Because you had to hold on to your tray, because it would slide around. And if anybody let go of it, it would slide in front of yours. They had devoured in it.
Oh.
So you didn't feel like you eat anyway. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But that's the things you go through.
Yeah.
So we went back to Camp Bremehaven, Kentucky, to be discharged. And we stayed overnight. And I was still with my buddy from Columbia City, Reimer and Myers. So we went out together and everything, and went down to the bus station, we got on a bus, and we got soaking wet. We had our Army uniform on, of course, our Class A, which is wool. I mean, it's wet, but it's a terrible looking thing. And Bud says, hey, go there's the dry cleaners. Let's go over there and get these pressed and everything. So we went in the bathroom, and here's my clothes, dry them out and press them. So we sat and waited until they got done. And we got on the bus and come up, we got off Indianapolis. We had a layover there, I don't know, a couple hours, I suppose. Bud's boss said, I'm going to call my brother and tell him what time we'll be in Huntington, and he'll pick us up in Huntington. Okay, we're still together. So we picked us up, and he took us to Columbia City, and I said, well, we had to go through Laurel, because he lived up on just 5 miles north of me on State Road 5, and I lived in town in Laurel. His boss said, Paul, we will take you to Laurel and drop you off in front of the house. It was about 3 in the morning, and I knocked on the front door, and nobody came around. Knocked on the back door. Dad was right there. And first time I ever got a hug from my dad. And then Bud's brother dropped him off at his folks' home, and he went home. So after we got married, we had, we lived at Larwell. I lived in Fort Wayne for a while after I got out of the service. I got a job at Shell Station over there. I worked there about 5 years. And we got married, and I drove back for the station in Larwell. It was Standard Station at that time. It was up for trade, for trading managers. And so I'm going to move to Larwell, so I'll be there, and I can be sure and get it because it's very nice and had 2 bays and 4 or 5 pumps, I guess. And so we moved to Larwell and bought a 45-foot trailer we had in the trailer court in Fort Wayne. And I lived in about a 2-room apartment and had a shower down the basement. And after we got married, we moved into my apartment. That wasn't quite big enough. So I bought a 27-foot trailer and moved out to Larwell. I lived in that. I drove back and forth. And I had picnics for Millers, Yoders, Myers. Did I leave anybody out? And so we had them for 3 years. When I decided I wanted to be a pastor, I got called to be in ministry. So we had to, we had traded trailers. We got a 27-foot first, and then 45-foot. That was what it was. It's been a long time ago, I'll forget. We were married 54 years.
How soon after you got back did you get married?
I got out in November, and we didn't get back together until Easter.
Easter
It
time.
must have been April, probably.
Springtime.
And so I called the house. 6123J is their phone number. That's when you had a letter behind the phone number. You had the pick up receiver and crank it down, lift up freezer and leave your number. And then I go through 20 options. And so I called her up. She said, well, she can't talk very long, we're going to church. I said, oh, she said, yeah, we're having a Easter program, and we're doing some things at church. So you ready for it? She said, when you want to go to church? I said, well, I think you'll be good. Well, I had already been to church there, went to church there about a couple of years, and I had never seen her before. Didn't know she was there, and she'd gone there for quite a few years. Well, they had a boys' class and a girls' class, so you didn't, except for class parties, and you kind of got acquainted, not too much. I wasn't too interested. So I went to church. Everybody in the family, hey, look who's back there. Look who's there. Look back there, Patricia. Look back, see? I know he's there. So afterwards I said, well, you want to go out for a cup of coffee? Sure. We've been drinking coffee ever since. I don't drink much anymore. Doctors, I can have half a cup. Now, that's all I can have. I don't want any.
Did you join any of the, well, first, your service and the skills and things that you did there, did that help you at all after you got back here to civilian life? Were there things that you learned there that really helped you? I know you said you were a cook and then you became a gas station owner.
Yeah.
Did you learn any skills or things like that that really helped you after you were out of the service?
No, not after I got out.
Now after you got out? Were there any kind of, I know the World War II veterans had the GI Bill, was there anything like that for the Korean War veterans?
Not too much at that time.
No?
No.
No.
But, so I, after we got together, we got married, and we got married in July. I got out in November and we got married in July. And first Christmas, I got a Christmas card from a girlfriend over in Germany. That said, what's this? That's this girl I went with in Germany. And where's she at? I said, she's still there. Okay. Well, I was surprised to get it to see who I was. I didn't figure I'd get a Christmas card from her. And next Christmas, got another Christmas card. You got another Christmas card from Gertrude. Yeah. And I sent her one, first and second year. And I still get one from her.
Yeah.
So, got one from her, and she was stationed up there in Maine. Pat says, uh-oh, what's this? She's up there in Maine, living in Maine. Well, no problem, I'm married. So is she. Married an Air Force guy that I cooked for. And so the next year I got another one from Maine, and this time it's in Germany.
And was she a German native?
Sorry?
Gertrude, was she a German
Yes.
native?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. She was about 20, 21. I was 22 at the time. And so this went off and on for about 10, 15 years. They'd been back in the States. They got to Texas. Pat says, "You're getting closer." Don't worry. If I wanted to, I'd have brought him home. And so every year we get a Christmas card from Gertrude. And the only picture I ever got was a picture of her dog. She was holding a small dog. And she don't put anything on the letter with her name, her husband's name. And I do the same thing, and we don't write back and forth at all. And I thought many times, well, I'd like to go out and look them up to see, because they live in Kirbyville. And well, I drove RVs for a year. I was between jobs. And I had them delivered out Kerrsville, Texas. Pat looked at me and says, "Where's that at?" I said, "I'm not sure." I got the map out. He said, "Is that where that girl lives?" "Well, she lives clear up here at Kerrsville. This is Kirbyville." Okay. I don't know why she worries so much. She knows I love her.
Just natural.
So I went to carpenter school, and I got back to, started back to Shell Station here in Club City, and they had what they call scopes. You detect troubles with the car with that, put that hook up to the car, and you find what cylinder's doing what. So I went to school on that, and I went to school on carburetors for 13 weeks. So I was a tune-up and carburetor specialist for about 20 years or better. And so I tried to get into GE, and they didn't want me, and I tried to get in Dana, and I pulled in there, and that factory's too big. I don't like big factories. And I did work hired Viking for 16 years, and hated every minute of it almost. But then I got back in the service station again. But that's been my life.
I see you're a member of the Whitley County Korean War Veterans, the Honor
Yes.
Guard. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that's about?
Well, there was an article in the paper that they was going to have a meeting for Korean veterans, and that served during the Korean War. I wonder what that's all about. And so I went to the meeting. It was out at VFW. There was about 39 of us there. And Gerald Boyd, you know him, was in charge of it. And we all said, well, what's this all about? He said, well, I said, I'll explain it all. He said, I want to get a monument put on courthouse lawn and need some help. I don't have any money. He said, I don't either. We don't have a dime. He said, we got 3 years to get $20,000. And you have to have 3 functions a year to apply for it. You have to have a parade or a cookout, like a pancake and sausage breakfast, which we had, and our chili supper, and spaghetti meatballs and so forth. So we all got busy, and we got a job, and we went out and solicited for money, and we divided the town in Twin City off in 4 sections. And you take this, and you take that, and you take that one, you take that one, so that we won't double up and aggravate people for money. It's not big for money almost. It was just for donations. And we got a lot of donations. Well, in a year and a half, we had over $20,000. So Lloyd said, okay, let's go. Well, the monument would cost $20,000 or better. It was black stone. It had come from India. It had to be packed in water, salt water, so it didn't chip. I don't understand that either. But it was about $35,000 before we got it over here. So we got it all set up and everything in May on must have been 2000, 2001. I think we had the dedication for it. And we had one boy that was never located. He was killed in action. There's 5 of them, 5 or 6 of them, 5. And but this one was never located. His mother said, well, I would like to be the one to unveil. So, boy said, I'll be fine. And she was 99 years old then. This must be about 103 or 4 now. Well, you know, she's still going. I think she still drives. And so, Boyd says, okay, they had a meeting after that. And Boyd says, that's it, I'm out of here. I'm done. So if you guys want to go ahead and do something, what are we supposed to do? Anything you want to. Well, John Stable said, I'd like to have some volunteers. Uh-oh. And for honor guards for Korean veterans. And so they said, no, we're down to 18 by then. Well, I'm out of here. I don't want to do anything more. I've done what I wanted to do, and that's it. Well, that's okay. But you're welcome to be one of us. So 6 of us decided we wanted to be honor guards. So 6 of us all got together and we built a business.
And what does the honor guard do then?
Honor guards, we go to funerals of, it was Korean veterans only at that time, we first started. And now we have a funeral for anybody, any war, 2, 1, whatever, Vietnam, and Korea, and other wars that we've been involved in. And but mainly when we first got started, we would go to the funeral home and stand at the casket. We'd all march out and line up at the casket, salute the man, salute the flag. One man would stay there 15 minutes, stand there, just at attention. And we would go back to the room, and every 15 minutes we'd go out, we'd leave him, go out and salute him, and he'd salute us back, and we'd go back out, we'd wait for the next guy. So we usually had to go, they would have services from 2 to 4, and 6 to 8. So at 6 hours, we had to stand twice during that time, which wasn't bad. Age kind of got after us a little bit. I'm the oldest one there, and so what I say goes. No, they can't harass me about it. But so then at the end of the service, before they had the funeral, we usually don't stay for the funerals unless we know when we want to. We march out there and pick up the last guy and salute the man again and turn left and march out and we're done. Then when we go to the cemetery, sometimes inside at the funeral home, the people wanted their flag draped. We have to drape it over the foot of the casket. And it has to be 7 inches off the floor on the outside, and on the inside, however it falls, don't touch the floor, never. So we post the colors at the funerals. We do that. We've done that at the first 2. We post the colors when we first go out. Then out the cemetery, we post the colors, and then when they have all the prayers and everything is over, they want the flag folded, it's laid over the casket. So we fold the flag in front of them and present it to the deceased person. The deceased person's wife or husband. So now we have a M1 rifle, and we go out and have put him on gun salute or 3, and that's just about it. We decided that after we got some age on us, we can already stand there 15 minutes. Let's go down to 10. Okay, so that's easier. We can stand there for 4 hours that way, changing. And then we all get along very well. It's surprising, we all come from different homes and all, different types of living, but we get along very well. And we have a lot of fun when we go to parades. We have 9 parades each summer. And we finally got talked to me to let us stop and play taps. At the grandstand.
Grandstand, yeah.
And that goes over big.
We're about to finish up here, Mr. Gates. Is there anything else you needed to bring up that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I can sit here all day, I suppose, but I won't.
Well, we'd really like to thank you then for the interview, and thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And